Hello, welcome to another episode on this lovely channel. My name has always been Miss Millie. If you're new here, we say a warm welcome, and if you're already a family member, hey, we are glad you are here. This channel is all about making motherhood joyous. So today we are going to be looking at 10 tips, 10 essential tips for our new mothers to be and our new mothers in town. Yes, the first tip that I'm going to be giving you is essential, and it is about the temperature that a baby needs or is suitable for a baby. If you're all for it, let's get started. Alright, so tip number 1 is about the temperature, the ideal temperature for your baby. So looking on the screen, you will see a display of different temperatures that a baby has to have, and of course the right clothing to use for each temperature. Knowing this will help you to make baby comfortable, baby happy, and of course it will give you, the mom, a peace of mind. So note that the ideal temperature for a baby's room is between 16 degrees to 20 degrees. Yes. Tip number 2, which is moving us to our do's and don'ts. Yes, our first do and don'ts is, if you want to know that baby is too hot or too cold, do not check it by touching their feet or their hands. No. Check through using 2 fingers on baby's tummy, on baby's back, or baby's neck. Yes, and I repeat that. Place 2 fingers on baby's tummy to check whether baby is too hot or too cold. 2 fingers at his back or his neck to know whether baby is too hot or too cold. And that moves us to tip number 3, still under the do's and don'ts. Don't put baby to bed with hot water bottle. Never do that. Or electric blanket. Never do that. If your baby feels hot to touch, take off some layers, okay? So if you feel baby is too hot, take off some of the clothing. If you feel baby is too cold, put more clothing on baby. And after every 10 minutes, check to see whether baby is okay or the temperature is okay or not. And of course that refers us to the previous point that if you're checking every 10 minutes, check by placing your fingers on baby's tummy, back or neck, and not the feet or hands. And that takes us to tip number 3. So tip number 3 will say, don't dress your sleeping baby in hats or gloves, even if the weather is cold. Yeah, they don't need those things when they are sleeping. If you think the place is too hot or warm, open the windows and the doors to help air circulation during the day, and keep your baby's room cool by closing blinds and curtains during the day when you think it is getting cold. Yes. Okay, and that takes us to tip number 4, right? We've said 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's take on tip number 5, and we are going to be addressing breastfeeding issues. Yes, very important, very important. So the first tip and the breastfeeding, which is number 5 of our essential tip, is be comfortable and relax when you are breastfeeding. Yes, breastfeeding newborn babies is important because it strengthens the bond between you, the mother, and the new baby. And of course, you are being advised to feed your baby often in their first few days after birth. It is very important because these help stabilize your milk supply. It stabilizes the milk supply, and it is very important that you ensure this. And that takes us to tip number 6. So tip number 6, we say breastfeed as often as possible. Yes, breastfeed as often as possible. Yes, if you frequently feed your baby, this gets your milk supply in place, and of course it meets the baby's demand. When your milk supply is in place, whenever baby is hungry, you have enough to feed baby. Therefore, it's important that you frequently feed the lovely bouncing baby, because the milk is for them anyway. And we can testify from most researchers that babies who breastfeed are stronger and are less prone to diseases. Yes, so often feed your little baby. That takes us to tip number 7. Help your baby latch. Support your baby latch. The right latching helps baby feed well. Okay? Yes, but incorrect latching is bad. Why is this bad? Let me explain. It is bad because it can give you sore nipples, cracked nipples, painful nipples. Okay? It can give you pain in your breasts. Okay? Yes, and of all that, it would not provide enough milk for baby. But when you help baby latch well, you prevent all this, and then baby is able to get enough milk. So I say, help baby latch, help baby suckle on the areola for a better latch. Yes. Moving to number 8, tip number 8. What would we say? We advise that you feed baby whenever she or he wakes up. Yes, feed baby whenever he or she wakes up. And that is very important. You know why? It is because it's going to reduce the way baby become cranky. And of course, it's going to guarantee your milk supply, which is amazing. You know, babies feed on this a lot, especially for their first 6 months. And it's important that you do ensure that your milk supply is in place always. So these little practices help you to ensure that your supply of milk is consistent. And that moves us to tip number 9. When breastfeeding, as a new mom to be, use different positions. Even we adults get bored sometimes with the positions we have. How much more babies? Let baby explore. Give baby different positions of breastfeeding. I'll remind you of some of the positions. So the positions that we have in breastfeeding, we have a lot of them. But the most known includes the cross cradle. Yes, the cross cradle. Looking on the screen, if you've forgotten how it's been positioned, looking on the screen gives you an idea of what the cross cradle is all about. Yes, another position that I will recommend is just the cradle. Yes, and looking on the screen, it gives you a reminder of how the cradle is being done. Using different positions helps and encourages baby to feed more. The third position I will share with you is the inverted side lying. Good. Looking on the screen. Just a reminder of how it's being done. Yes. And of course, the last one that I'll bless you with is the side lying cradle. Yes, and that is the picture for you there. So having all this positioning, do not deprive this baby of these wonderful positions. Use them, let her enjoy it, and let her enjoy the breastfeeding journey. And of course, that takes us to my last tip. Ask for help. Seek for help. It is okay to ask for help. It is normal to ask for help. If it's your first baby, of course, everything is new to you. So asking for help is okay. If it is your old baby, of course, every special baby is different. Okay, my first baby's processes that I took him through when it comes to breastfeeding is different from that of the second. Not because of the difference in gender, but we are all unique in our own way, of course, and that is why even the pregnancy journey itself is different from each other. If you have 4 kids, obviously your pregnancy journey was not the same. There might be some little things in there that might seem similar, but it's never the same. So it's okay to seek help from friends who are experienced. It's okay to seek help by listening to educational videos like this. It's okay to seek help from your midwife. It's okay to seek help from your children's center in your area. We encourage you to seek help. You can also join Facebook groups, yes, to seek help. Put your problems there, and those with experience will give you answer. If you are interested in this, we have a Facebook group called the Pregnancy Support Group. I've put it in the description below. You can join that group so you could have some help when needed. Once again, thank you so much for joining us for this episode. Don't forget to share and subscribe. Comment below other things that you need help with. And of course, we will bring you the educational video to give you answers to your questions. It's always been your lady, Miss Millie. Until then, I will see you soon. Bye.